stream. I am Arcadia. I am joined with Bandit and Julx. If you guys want to say hello.
Hola.
Okay, I need to shut that off. Give me a second. Someone just followed.
That's fine.
It just screaming in my ear. I thought I had it shut off, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
Alright, I plugged my headset into my phone, so tell me if my audio is better or not.
That is actually a lot better. So to get started, I do want to say we will start having better podcast views for like everyone else. Eventually,
God, what is happening?
we'll have. Can you not hear Julx?
No, my laptop is bugging out.
Oh, okay. But we'll have better overlays and stuff once the editors finish everything like that. So the first topic of the day I wanted to discuss was UG finals, which was between it was Fedless version 2, I guess you can say, but it was, I guess their name is Bin Laden Baddies. And yeah, I don't ask about that name. They chose that name, but Bin Laden Baddies and BDG Insidious. I believe the two maps were 7-3, 7-1 before BDG Insidious forfeit the third and final map. They just didn't want to play, apparently. Which, it is a finals. I don't blame them for not wanting to play it, but at the same time, like, whenever you're participating for money, I feel like you should be constantly, like, I feel like you should play
Ambition.
through the, yeah,
Ambitious.
exactly. You should play through the money that you and your org paid for, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Which I don't necessarily agree. I know it was a small prize pool league, but at the same time, like, if you're playing to earn money, then you should just continue to play fully. But 7-1, I believe was map 1, 7-3 was map 2, and then map 3 was not played. So Bin Laden Baddies won a 3-0 finals. I don't know exactly the map. I can look as far. Yeah, so 7-3 map 2, 7-1 map 1. Villa, Bin Laden Baddies attacked. Club, they also attacked, and then Cafe, they would have defended. Which surprisingly, they won 7-3 on map 1, or was it map 2? 7-1 map 1 on Villa attack. So that means they got a 5-1 split or a 6-0 split before they went on defense. That's okay. And then same thing with Club. In my opinion, Villa and Club are very much more defensive sided than attacker sided. And then map 4 would have been Chalet. Map 5 would have been Coast. Honestly, it could have been if BDG Insidious would have won Cafe, they could have had a chance because Chalet no one knows how to play yet, and Coast is very attacker sided. So personally, I think they could have had a decent chance if they would have won Cafe, but we'll see how they take that because both teams are going to royalty playoffs, I believe. But then the next topic is Achieve versus Exile, which was also a 3-0. Let me see if I can find the scores on that because I don't remember necessarily what happened. All I know is that some of the Exile guys got pissed off and left the league as soon as they lost. Let's see. So Achieve won one map 7-5, so that was a close map. They won Cafe 7-3. They won Consulate 7-5. And I don't see the third screenshot in the chat. Someone's phone's popping off. I'm guessing that's yours, Julx, or is that
It was
Bandit?
mine.
That wasn't mine. I'm on my phone.
Cafe Consulate. I don't see the Coastline game. Did they forfeit Coastline? Or I can't really see. The match chat's all fucked up. anyways, but Millennia Finals, which was the free league last season, which is going to be Undergrounds this season, it was also a fucking 3-0 because Achieve. Landy said he can't hear you, by the way. Bandit.
Yeah, I fixed it. We're good. I think we
Okay.
did at least.
But Millennia Finals was also a 3-0 by Achieve versus Exile Trulicent. I don't know if Exile Trulicent disbanded afterward. A few of them left the team, yeah, after that finals. But it was only a $25 prize pool, so that one I can see not playing a best of 5, if they did forfeit the third map.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that was a free entry league, so they could have backed out if they wanted to. If your org paid an entry for you, I could see just play for the embarrassment at that point.
Yeah.
At least show your org that you're fucking trying. But forfeiting a map because you want to save yourself from the embarrassment of getting a 3-0.
Okay, my laptop isn't working for the podcast, so I'm just going on my phone.
Okay, for sure. But I don't necessarily agree with that either. Let's see. What was the next one? Oh, you have royalty standings, right, Julx? You'll talk about that one.
I have the top 20 teams written down, yes.
So the top 20 teams should be the ones who have a chance to go to the playoffs, right?
Yes, pretty sure. The top 16 make it playoffs.
I can see if James can come in here because he has a better understanding of how royalty playoffs are going to play out.
He said top 16 teams are making it playoffs.
Okay. Let's see. I'll see if James can join in real quick. I don't know if he will join.
He said top 16, so did I delete these last 4? Because he said top 16.
But go ahead and start off naming each team because I'm sure the top teams are already secured their spots, so they're for sure going in. But how it's going to work is it's going to be a group playoffs, double elimination. You have to lose 2 matches to be eliminated from the group playoff. If you win at least 2 matches, you head into the final 8 playoffs for the 3 prizes, which is $450 and your entry back. So $400 for first place.
Are we doing double elimination?
What?
Are we doing double elimination?
For final 8?
I don't know.
For group playoffs, we are doing double elimination. Final 8, yes. I haven't decided if we do want to do double elimination.
So are we doing top 16 make it to... Because that's what
group
James
playoffs,
just said.
Yeah.
Like, I have top 16 teams written down.
All right, so go ahead and just name those 16 because I believe those are finalized because I don't necessarily see the last 2 games could change the standings. So for now, the top 16 are in the playoffs unless something has changed. Go ahead and just name all those ones off.
So in first place, we have Neon Horizon.
Which that is led by, I believe, Omen's team, correct?
That is Anarchy in them.
That's by Anarchy. I believe Omens is a part of that, though.
I don't know.
Go ahead and move to the next one, and then I'll give input
Second
each
place
individual team.
is Deadlier.
So, can you open up the scores of Neon Horizon and show the teams they won and lost against, key games, at least top 16 teams? If not, I can do it real quick.
Let me see. Against the top 16 teams?
Yeah, that you see key teams that they lost and won against. So
they 7-1 Backpack, Roast Backpack.
Really? So they 7-1 ropes back,
7-2 Deadlier.
which Deadlier is the second place team. I don't know if this was before the roster changes, but that is a major game for them to win, and Neon Horizon still being in
That
first
was their
place.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th game of the season.
So that was week 5. All right.
They got a forfeit win against Vise, I think. Someone put it in as 1. And then they got another forfeit win against Raiders.
Okay, and I don't believe Raiders made playoffs at all. So.
They did. They are
I thought they
16th
did.
team.
Oh shit! So they still have a chance to make playoffs, depending on how the last
They-
2 swing games go.
They beat Monarchy 7-4. That was a close. That was a good game. I remember
Yeah,
that
that was a close game. They lost to Legion, which is
They
Bin
lost
Laden
Legion
Baddies
7-8.
7-8. So depending on where Bin Laden Baddies are, I believe they're under Legion in this league, right? Yeah, they're under Infamous League. They're
Yes.
3rd place. So surprisingly, Neon Horizon is still 1st place just by points alone. So I don't know if, yeah, because they only have 1 loss. They almost went undefeated this season. So they
I
almost
feel like
had a
we would have
flawless
beat them if we
season.
played it better.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, we didn't have. We had 3 subs also, so
I don't know the exact roster of that team, but I know.
they're a really good strat team. That's what I figured out.
Well,
They're a
I
good
know
strat
if it's MMG United and Unknown combined, which I think they have a
I
few
think
from
it
each.
is.
They most of the MMG teams that I've known or seen or watched streams about, they've all been highly stratted teams. A lot of them are like just essentially all just smart individuals that have a ton of game sense and know exactly what they're doing like at all times when they're playing. So I have no doubt they, in my own opinion, that they make the final 8. Because how I see it right now, they will be playing. It would be Neon Horizon, Device, OG Surfter, and Lich United. As of currently, will be that group playoffs, and I see. Just for now, I just see Device and Neon Horizon seeing in the finals of that
So
group
top
playoff.
2 out of the groups go to top 8, or is it?
Yeah,
Are we
top
doing
2 out
8
of groups go to
groups?
the top 8. Only 4 groups: Alpha,
4
Bravo,
groups.
Charlie,
Yeah.
and Delta. Alpha division will be 1st, 5th, 9th, and 13th place. Bravo will be 2nd, 6th, 10th, and 14th place. Charlie will be 3rd, 7th, 11th, and 15th, and then Delta will be 4, 8, 12, and 16. Which the swing teams right now, there are currently 3.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Delta is actually a good division.
Yeah, I just seen that. It's gonna be
It's
84
BDG,
Raiders,
Monarchy,
Unforgettable,
and Raiders.
Monarchy, and BDG. So that one's definitely gonna be one worth talking about because that one can go either way. I do see UF sweeping in that if they can get the roster actually online. Play that obviously. But let's head into the second second place team would be Deadlier, I believe, right?
Deadlier. They
The
had
first game
3
they
losses
beat.
this season.
Okay, and
Their
the
first
first
game
team they
was
beat was
against
Unforgettable, right?
UF, yeah, 7-3.
That was before the UF roster changes to get Truman and this is when Deadlier, before they lost a few of their players, right? And then this is before UF got a few of theirs. Okay.
Yes.
So
And then
personally, I think that game was irrelevant, at least at this current time, because obviously I haven't seen Deadlier and UF play since, but with the recent roster changes and Deadlier losing some games that I believe they shouldn't have lost, or they have close games. Like if you go further down, you can see like
Who are all the people they lost to?
they lost to Monarchy, Horizon.
they lost to Monarchy week 4. and Neon Horizon. So they lost to Monarchy 7-4 and Neon Horizon 7-2. But then the rest of the games, you can look down the list. They
forfeit
almost,
against randoms.
yeah.
Oh no, they won against randoms.
They had a 7-8, or no, they had an 8-7 win versus Device a few weeks back. And a 8-6 win against Lich United, which I don't believe United's 13th place right now.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, to weaker teams, and they lost 7-4 to Infamous Legion, who I don't know if you saw, they got swept by UF 3-0 in Pluto League, which is one of our partners, Wolf and Jitter. But just to show that Infamous Legion beat them literally last week 7-4, and Legion got beat by UF 3-0. You can be safe to say with the new roster changes UF has gotten that Deadlier game week 1 is currently irrelevant to me, at least. But
speaking of Legion, they are 3rd place.
They're 3rd right now? Okay. I don't really care about the first weeks of Legion because that was a different roster than it was now. Before Panini and Polo with the G joined, I believe. And they started picking up Aggro. Aggro joined later. Because I believe it was Fedless 2.0, then Legion went to the Bin Laden baddies. So skip a few weeks.
Most recent games, they beat Deadlier 7-4. They beat Horizon 8-7.
And that's the first and second place seeds right there.
Yeah.
And they beat Raiders 7-3, and then a forfeit win against Devised, Booty Benders, and Insidious.
I feel like that's the only relevant games, in my opinion. Just the last 2 weeks alone. Beating Deadlier 7-4 and Neon Horizon 7-8, or 8-7, my bad. That's the first and second seeds alone right there. So I feel like Bin Laden baddies, aka Infamous Legion, should feel really good about their playoff run because they have beaten some of the top teams. The only team I'd be scared of at this point, and I don't know what their group is looking like. It'd be, I believe it would be Booty Benders is in that group, Defiant Orbit, and Known Randoms. That's actually kind of scary in a way because Defiant Orbit.
That's Tribune's team, right?
Yeah. Defiant Orbit is a bad team. They lost 2-1 to UF, but in the final map, they lost 8-7, which, in my opinion, no offense to Infamous Legion, I think they just got completely slammed in that finals. But, and it's also because Aggro and Pro Capper were going to PC, so I don't necessarily believe they were all that much like caring about Xbox at that point. Yeah. So I would have liked to see 2 other players play instead of Aggro and Capper because I feel like they're more invested into PC right now. They were like, it's just one finals.
Yeah, completely.
It is sad to see both of those Xbox players go, especially from one of the really great teams, Fallout, that's been around for at least a year, BTM and Fallout. But I don't think that finals game was... It was essentially fucking Truman and... I can't think of the other name. Who were the 2 that were running around the map just playing crack the entire time? I know Truman, first map, I don't believe he died once. And if he did, it was very few times that he actually died. So I can actually see who was playing that game or remember who was playing. But I know it was Truman and someone else because Truman and fucking whoever else he was playing with, they 2v5'd at least 2 rounds in that Pluto League final game, I believe, on Oregon. I want to say it's Bless Bat. Yeah, I want to say it was Bat that was Truman and Bat.
Scrap, could be Blessed, I don't know.
Oh no, it was Truman and Scrapter. That's what it was.
Sounds right.
They 2 rounds on the first map. They clutched a 2v5, 3v5. And the first 4 rounds of the game, both Scrafter and Truman didn't die once. So I do believe UF is a very stacked team right now, and it would be very hard for anyone to play against them.
They're monkeys.
Yeah. But Legion will be having Booty Benders, which Booty Benders define orbit and known randoms. Personally, for that division,
Booty doesn't throw their games.
Yeah, we'll see. I think personally, Legion and Orbit make it out of that one. In my general opinion, I think it'll be in the losers bracket. It'll be known randoms versus Booty Benders, and then the winner of known randoms and Booty Benders. Oh, I can't speak. To play Orbit if Legion doesn't lose. Regardless, I still think Legion and Orbit will make the final 8, which they will be separated from there. It'd be interesting to see which bracket they would get from there. Seeing as Deadlier and Neon Horizon and UF will most likely be there. But we will end up seeing on that. The next team is BDG, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just do the most recent games.
Well, starting with them against Monarchy, it was an 8-7 loss. The final round was I think it was a 1v5. I was in a 1v5 last round.
Well,
that was a close game.
Yeah, that game was good.
And then after that, they played Devise, which they beat 7-3.
Really?
They lost to Horizon 8-6.
So BDG actually, that's not bad.
Lost to Deadlier 7-3. They beat Rope's Backpack 7-5. Beat 84 Raiders 7-4, and then lost to Insidious the last week 7-3.
And to me, that's actually surprising because I've personally only heard about BDG Insidious. I haven't really heard of the OG BDG players, and it's not really all the OG ones because most of them are gone, at least since I've been in there. Yeah.
Polo, Cayuse.
No, like even before that, the original OG teams like BGJ, BDG. I believe it was.
This team is Trosty, Jay, some other people I forgot about.
Isn't it Viper too, or is Viper gone?
Here I can tell you. Give me a second.
But I've only ever heard of really BDG Insidious. I haven't really heard a whole lot about just regular BDG, which, in my opinion, they were kind of a low-key team this season.
Yeah, it's Jay, Velocity, Cobean, Bandit, Trosty, Viper, Rip My GT, Flocka, and Chemical.
That's right. Flocka and Jay, I remember from when I used to play comp, so they've been around just as long as I have. When BDG had first started becoming BDG, I can't remember if they are the same team that transferred from Shield Team 6, which was in PLM year 2 and 3. Can't remember if that's the same team, but they transferred over to their org BDG, created that org together. And honestly, it's one of the most successful orgs besides Horizon, in my opinion, on Xbox right now. Because all of their teams are decently good.
Speaking of royalty, while we're on top of this, are we doing hand cams for all
hand cams? We will be doing priority hand cams for. I can't remember what we were doing for groups, so we're going to be doing random hand cams unless it's a priority hand cam for 3 players on each team in groups, and then in the finals or the final playoff, everyone will be hand camming, which will be rough on us admins, of course, but I mean, we should do it. It's a controller league. If people complain about it, I'm not fucking worried about it. But we'll going back to it. BDG was a very low-key team to me this season because I've only ever heard of Insidious, and Insidious is a relatively new team, and they've gotten a lot of exposure really quickly. But
Speaking of BDG, they are like Horizon. They are really they're strat heavy, but they have
very strat heavy.
fraggers also on the team.
Yeah.
Well, just by looking at the roster, they definitely have fraggers already.
Yeah, they have a lot of fraggers on their team.
Okay,
which
so next
isn't bad. I just want to go over their groups real quick. It'd be BDG, Monarchy, UF, and 84 Raiders. That one is a fucking tough division. If 84 actually makes it in, I don't know. I feel like UF automatically goes into that finals. But as for the last three teams, that
I feel
group
like
playoff,
it's gonna be either Monarchy or BDG. The finals for that group.
and I feel like you shouldn't necessarily sleep on 84 Raiders either. I don't know what their games were like, but
I know
they're
they
definitely
forfeited
up
their
there.
last week against Monarchy. I know that.
That would have been a lot more helpful to actually judge how that could have gone if they actually played that game. But go ahead and head down to the 5th place spot.
So
We'll go through it a little bit quicker.
Is Devise.
And go through only the last 4 games.
The last 4 games where they played Legion, in which they got a forfeit win. They played Suture, which they beat 7-2. They played United, which they beat 8-6, and then they played Ropes, which doesn't have a score. So.
And I also see they lost to BDG a few weeks back, 7-3.
They lost to Deadlier, also 7-8.
Personally, for Device, they're always a team that necessarily shows up for the playoffs. They're one of those teams like UF that kind of just skates by to make it to playoffs. Yeah, I don't think they necessarily care about what their regular season standings are until playoffs come around. Which I don't blame them, being in the amount of leagues.
Otto was surprised that they were 5th.
He was surprised that they were 5th. I mean,
they should be higher.
Points say differently. They lost to Horizon, BDG, Deadlier 3 weeks straight. So, I don't know what the Ropes backpack game was. I believe it was probably a forfeit because it depends. Also, another thing to take into consideration, Ropes backpack isn't a team anymore. They're now Infamous Legion. So technically, that 16th place spot, the 84 Raider, every team's going to move up 1. So actually, that's going to affect the whole fucking bracket even differently now.
Wait, refresh the page and it says for a tournament. No, it says Neon Horizon first with Device second.
Oh, really? It's saying Device is second? I would have to... Was it just recently updated? Did Nora just update it? That's
he might have.
Honestly just triggering. But since we already talked about the top 5 teams, yeah, he just updated it. I hate my life. But anyways, going back to it, I believe, depending on how it's going to work out, it's 1, 5, 9, and 13. So now it's Horizon, BDG, Ropes, and Lich United. Ropes not being a team anymore. It's going to move over to Defiant. And then Robloxians.
So
Prone is in right now. Yeah, they're technically the 16th team. So we would have to go over them too. But as of this very moment, and this is with the final games all being submitted as we speak, it's going to be Horizon, BDG, Orbit, and Robloxians. From what I'm seeing right now, if anything changes last second, which I don't necessarily see anything changing last second with the last 2 games, because I don't see the last 2 games being in a playoff run.
I think it's Title Black
it's X United. Yeah, and that's 27th and 29th seed. They're not going to make playoffs. I think the winner has a chance to be to get to 24 points, but I don't believe so. And then the other two teams I don't think are, it's X United and someone else.
So the next team, 6th place, would be Insidious.
Yeah, so we talked about Horizon, Device, Deadlier, Legion, BDG.
BDG.
As I already stated, Insidious has gotten a lot of exposure quickly. I believe it's Hammer,
Who is
Clicked.
on-
It's Hammer, Clicked.
that team, this BDG Insidious.
Yeah,
And I know they recently picked up Thunder.
which is a major pickup in my opinion, picking up Thunder just alone.
A lot of their final weeks were forfeits. They got a forfeit win against Booty. They lost to Legion, forfeit loss. And then they beat BDG and X United the last 2 weeks.
Looking at what theirs is going to be, their playoffs, it's going to be Device, Insidious, Surtur, and what is it going to be? Wait, I think I did that wrong. 1, 5, 9, 13, 2, 6, 10. So to go to 11, Surtur and
That United has some fans in the chat. By fans, I mean make.
I'm drawing a blank right now. 2, 6, 10, and 14. That's right. So it'd be known randoms, Surtur, Insidious, and Device, which,
Who's
like I said, we'll look at that once we get to it. But next team will be Booty Benders. Their last 3 games, 7-4, known randoms, Booty Benders won. 7-3 Corpse they won. They beat Lord Esports 7-8. I feel like Booty Benders is another one of those low-key teams that can just blow up if they had the chance, but it's just very inconsistent, in my opinion. Just a very inconsistent team to make a Final 8 playoff run, but I do believe they have a chance to make it, you know?
Yeah.
If they play very frag heavy and actually push to make that playoff run, they can make Final 8 easily. But from there, I'd like to see what would happen, because Final 8 is when shit starts to get really hectic. Next is Monarchy, which Julx, I won't let you talk about your own fucking team. The last 3 games you guys played were... I'll actually do the last 5. So you guys beat X United 7-5. You beat Exile Trulicent, which is the Free League finalists, 8-6. You lost to Horizon 7-4, which isn't bad, in my opinion, being a first place seed. Ropes Backpack, let's not talk about that one.
We had like 4 subs.
Yeah, sure, man.
We had Momo, who hasn't played
Excuses.
in month. But our new roster, I feel like our new roster is... I'm liking our new roster.
Yeah, I'm hoping how that will end up for you guys too, because at least currently it's going to be you guys, Legion, Lich United, and Prone Gamers.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, in my opinion, I feel that should be a very relatively easy bracket, depending on if you guys top off against United or not. Because United is not a bad team, in my opinion.
No, not.
Which United?
United.
I think they beat us in...
Personally, I feel like whoever wins between you guys and United make the Final 8.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to see that coming up. So Ropes Backpack we'll have to skip. So Defiant Orbit is the next team. That's Tribune's team.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Horizon 7-5, which isn't bad. They beat Searcher 7-5.
UF.
I would have liked to
And they lost against
see that
Deadlier
game.
7-2.
That's an older game, though. I like to see the more recent games than anything else, because I don't think
Yeah, the most recent
games
were
5
close,
weeks back are even like kind of
7-5
relevant.
Horizon. They beat Searcher 7-5. They lost to Horizon 7-5.
And I feel like Orbit, personally, how I see this going in Alpha, I'll say it at the end of after we check out every team. Number 12, Unforgettable Frags. I don't need to fucking go into detail on that.
They
Returning champions besides Device being the returning runner-ups. UF has won every league that I've seen as of recent that has a $250+ prize pool or more. And they haven't been even close. It's always been deadlier in UF in finals, and now it's been just UF, in my opinion. So yeah. I'm hoping something will be different. I'm really praying another team can.
If an upset happens against UF, I will put in. I'm not gonna say that because I won't do that, but yeah, I will be surprised. I was about to say I'd give something to the person who upset them.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to
broke.
see someone else in the finals. Let's just say that.
It really would be.
So
UF has been good for a while.
I don't think we didn't talk about Searcher.
Did we skip them?
Yeah, we skipped Searcher.
I don't know that team at all, to be fair.
I don't either. They forfeited to us the third week.
They lost to Device 7-2. They lost to Orbit 7-5. They beat Prone Gamers 7-4. They lost to Lich United 7-2. They beat Lord 7-4.
That is Tribune's on this team also.
He's on that. What?
This is Tom Z, the OG, Fob R6, iTribune, Storm Pooper 16, Cross AV, Visionary, and Zapith.
Why is Tribune on that team too? Unless he left. Oh no, Tribune left Orbit. I believe he left Orbit for this team.
Orbit's roster.
Which, in that case, being
no, he's
Tribune
still on
left
both rosters.
Oh well, he's gonna have to choose a roster, and I don't know how we didn't catch that, which is kind of questionable.
Because James is the only one who does rosters.
Yeah.
Because I feel like whichever team, Tribune's one of those players, that's a key player for either one of those teams. So whichever team loses him, is going to be at a major disadvantage alone. So that's going to be interesting. Who's going to be removed? He's not supposed to be double rostering, so I will have to take into consideration what happens from there. I don't know how we didn't catch that. But we'll have to look into that.
Otto said, what's Device brackets?
Device's brackets currently, as of right
Otto,
now,
you
it's
are second place, and you are going to be. You said
playing.
2-6.
It's Device, Insidious, Searcher, and
Prone. I think you said, or 8 Raiders.
No, it's gonna be 2-6,
11.
No, it's 1, 5, 9, 13, 2, 6, 10, 14. So which would be Searcher and known randoms. So it's going to be Device and Insidious 10. Making it out of that one. Yeah, well, because remember Rope's Backpack disbanded. So we would have to go a team
Ropes
up.
Is 19. Oh, yeah. Never mind.
So Defiant Orbit would go to 9th place, so they would not be playing Device or Insidious in that group playoff. But it'd be 2, 6, 11, and 14, or 15 technically in this case because Rope's Backpack disbanded. Searcher and known randoms. I think Device takes that group completely unless Insidious just pops off against Device. It really just depends. It's going to be a swing between one of those two teams.
Back-to-back finals for Device.
Which would be interesting. I don't know how it's going to play out yet for the final 8, but if UF and Device get flopped again, it could be very well another Season 2 finale, which, no offense, I really would like to see 2 different teams in the finals, or at least an upset in the finals against one of the finalists last season. But we'll have to see about that.
A little different.
going into the next team, we already talked about UF. I don't have to say anything more about them.
Which United?
Which is Mako's team.
Mako's team.
Again, one of those teams that, like, in my opinion, the 13th through 17th teams made it in by, like, the skin of their teeth, you know? Yeah. So, Lich United.
If you're looking at their most recent games, UF, they 6-6 tied. I don't know. We don't do ties, but some tie.
Either I don't know if they played that game or they just both agreed to, like, hey, let's just call it a tie, so we both get a point.
They lost to Devise 8-6. They lost Deadlier 8-6.
Holy shit, actually.
Horizon 7-5.
So don't even look at the searcher game, but if you look at those last 3 games alone, the first place seed they lost 7-5, the second place seed they lost 8-6, and the third place seed they lost 8-6, essentially,
and then
right?
Horizon they lost 7-5.
No, that's what I'm saying though, is because the first, second, and third place team they only lost by a two round deficit, which is actually super fucking surprising for United alone. That'd actually be exciting to see. On.
Yeah,
that's another one of those sleeper teams. I'd actually be really interested to see.
Woke is MNK.
But I've seen a lot of kid frag on controller alone. So it doesn't matter who you hand cam on that team. We've hand cammed constantly, and this kids still pop off. So even if that's one of those things that I like to be like, if you can go play PC comp and also play Xbox comp and still make money on both, like, you're fucking golden. I don't know why people don't do that more often. Like, they stay so key on playing Pro League and like trying to make Pro League or Challenger League in PC, but forget there's still money to be made on Xbox alone, you know? And if we had more teams that stayed on Xbox, we would be, in my opinion, still going strong as an Xbox community. But
you know what I would want to see happen if TP came back, or some of the OG teams, Team Persistent. Where's some other ones?
Well, I've seen a lot of them picked up Zimps, Dex, and
TP is all Zim now.
Yeah, which, face it, is going to be a lot more interesting, I guess you can say. Next team, Robloxians. Again, one of those teams I don't know. They beat Corp 7-3. They
Robloxians
beat Solar 7-4. Okay, then yeah, that team is another sleeper team in my opinion. Depends on who's in their bracket, but
they didn't play against all the teams that made it to playoffs.
Their bracket is going to be 1, 5, 9, and 13. So they would be playing Horizon, BDG, Orbit. I don't know for Roblox teams. I feel like that's a rough group.
The teams that they played against, the top 16 or whatever, are Insidious, Fisher A, and that's it. No randoms also. But that was a tie. But against Insidious and Fisher A, they lost both times. 7-3 to Insidious, 7-4 to
Personally,
Fisher.
I just don't think Robloxians could make a Final 8 run, let alone win a game in...
They could either.
Because listening to the group playoff they have, it's Horizon, BDG, and Defiant Orbit.
Yeah.
Which, that's a fucking hard group to be a part of alone. You have two very strat-heavy teams between Horizon and BDG, and then you have Defiant Orbit, which almost beat UF single-handedly in a best-of-3 playoff game. So that, personally, I don't think they could win a group playoff game in that type of environment, especially one of probably the best groups that we have all together. So I don't think it's going to end well for Roblox teams. I hope it does, because I like to see a lot of the lower seeded teams make it to the Final 8 to be very much upsets. But I don't think they could make a final playoff run. Moving on from there, though, known randoms, 3 teams, because Prone Gamers and 84 Raiders.
Yeah. My bad. I keep forgetting. Known randoms, they got a forfeit win against Viral. They beat Trulism. I don't think they're in the last. Yeah, they're not in there.
Corpse. They beat Corpse. They lost to Deadlier 1-0. They lost to Booty Bender 7-4. All right, so let me talk about known randoms a little bit. They are in one of those OG teams that played Stardom and Artemis back in year 3, year 4.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped playing comp for a whole year. They didn't show up during year 5. Came back year 6, and it's a different play style to be a part of, let alone on Xbox. It's completely more run in, gun ho, fucking frag, everything, in my opinion. It's very much more aggressive play style to almost mimic how close COD was back in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, where it's very quick style pace rather than a lot. What I've seen from the streams that known randoms have been playing, they take a very long time to drone. They take almost like it's like everyone's still hiding in corners when roamers are much more aggressive now. That they have adapted to the playstyle to not sit anymore. They're very much rotating around constantly. It almost reminds me of how CSGO is played with a lurker rather than a roamer. They drone it to try to find that roamer / lurker who's going to be sitting.
How new comp is how aggressive it is.
Yeah,
it's a lot more aggressive than it used to be. Like, it's so
that's
different
why
than it was like a year ago.
Exactly. That's why you see these old gen teams. It's hard for them to adapt, so they go to PC.
Yeah, a lot of old gen teams aren't as good. And like, I know there's a few that still stick around that just don't really compete with the new gen.
Exactly. Deadlier being one of them. They are one of the lucky teams to adapt.
Yeah.
BDG is another one of those teams that have adapted. But you can see, like, even Fallout, BTM, they couldn't adapt to this whole new play style. All of these new teams are coming in.
Especially Fallout.
Them being some of the top year 5 teams, they couldn't adapt. Element 111, my opinion, wasn't a bad team, but they could not adapt to the upcoming teams. So we'll have to see. Julx, I feel like you fairly adapted to being around for at least the last year and a half that I've known you to being around for. You and Newt fairly adapted well, but it's also like I feel like it's not a very recent adaptation for you two. It had to take you a while to find those key roster changes, you know?
I think in the past couple months we've been through 3 rosters at least.
So I won't go too much. Yeah. You had how many?
I think we've had at least 3 different like rosters over the past couple months. Because we had the Momo, Draco, Nobles, all them roster.
Right.
And then the one we have now. And then the one before that was me, Cayuse, Newt, Godly.
So yeah, you had like a lot of different changes, and you, like I said, you guys adapted fairly well. I want to rush a little bit to go into Raiders and Prone Gamers. Raiders groups are going to be Deadlier. What was it? 1, 5, 9, 13, 2, 6, 10, 14, 3, 7, which is Booty Benders. So they have Deadlier, Booty Benders, Unforgettable Frags, which is tough, and 84 Raiders. Personally, I think Deadlier, and I'm actually surprised Deadlier and UF are in the same group. That's actually I'd love to see that game, because that's more of a replay of the finals that we've been seeing for pretty much all of the end of year 5 alone.
Yeah, speaking of Raiders, their last 5 games were against people who all of them are in
like deep in,
playoffs besides Prodigy. They lost 7-3 to Legion, 7-4 to Ropes, 7-4 to BDG, and then they forfeited to Monarchy this last week.
which I don't know. Personally, I think it's going to be Deadlier and UF by far making that final 8. I'd like to see Raiders make it in, but I think it's going to be a Deadlier versus UF. And then the decider will be 84 versus Deadlier is my true analysis of that group. Because I don't see Booty seeing how because now Booty Benders has to go against Deadlier and fucking UF, which that's you're asking for
They're gonna
literally
forfeit to play ranked.
yeah. I would
I remember
forfeit to
that.
play ranked. I don't want to play Jabway stack or fucking Truman stack. I don't want to play either one. I wouldn't want to play that. So going to the last team,
UF
Prone
is
Gamers,
monkeys.
I have nothing really to say about Prone because
I don't
they
know who
haven't
they
played a
are.
lot of top 16 teams. And what I'm seeing is a lot of forfeit wins. I think half of their games were forfeit wins. So I can't really
Like
say
their
anything
last
about
game
them.
against Searcher was a 7-4 loss.
But that's pretty much the whole royalty right there. It looks like Prone Gamers are going to be playing Legion, Monarchy, Lich United, and like I said, Lich United being a sleeper team and those other 2 teams, I don't know if Prone could make a Final 8 run. I hope the best for them, but I don't really see it. Have any questions popped up at all?
Yeah, Jake says, how's Underground League looking? Any good teams?
As of right now, Undergrounds, I haven't really looked too much into it, but I can look real quick. Defiant Zero is in there. I see a lot of like I said, it's a
teams.
free league.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a few in there. I see a few royalty leagues in there.
So there's Booty Bender. These are signups. Booty
Insidious
Bender,
is in there. The returning
Asylum.
finalists.
Asylum is Reese's Key, Dry, for via
Of
some
course.
other people.
Why Via?
I don't know.
Why is he? All right. Well,
Little Cucumbers. I don't know any of these people.
but
Solar, Triple E, which is Flay,
I would say it's
XLVZN.
more of the teams who didn't make royalty playoffs are going to be found in UG, or like
Yeah.
if I had to say like
Title Black.
yeah, I think UG isn't going to be as competitive as royalty.
Not nearly.
It's gonna be more fun, but yeah.
I think it's going to give more teams an opportunity to actually win money.
There's some
essentially.
decent teams.
Yeah, and I don't see Bin Laden Batty sighting up again, so should be anyone's game because that's technically an infamous Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah, from teams that are signed up right now, the teams I seen either make winning it or going to Final 4, Final 2 are Lich United, Demons, TB, and Insidious.
Yeah, so that's just kind of like royalty teams too. We don't know how the newer teams are going to set up in a free league, but we'll see. I'm hoping the best for that one too.
Yeah.
We have to go a little bit quicker here. Moving into PC teams, I'm just going to name them off. I don't know a whole lot of them. Let me scroll through it right now. So Season 2 teams, we have the returning champions SYR Esports, Team Lupin, which was MMG, Emulate Axis, Emulate Fallout, which are the Fallout Boys, the guys that we've known the last few years. They are playing in it. Wild Heart, Emulate Fedless, which is Slack's team. Unleashed, 9ball, which was a semifinalist last season. Shaman Academy, Deranged Effect, Zero Frequency, Luxury Esports, Vicaris, Title Uprising, Asgard GG, Focus, Final Shot, Armorous, Demented, Not Cash Money, Exothermic, Impact Academy, Element 111. Again, one of those teams we've known on Xbox.
Title Elysium.
Ghost Esports, 5-star opponents, University of Denver. To be determined, I believe that's changed. I have to double check that. Esteem.
University of Denver.
Yeah, there's a few university teams.
The-
Frontline, Cobra
There
Kai.
was one team I wanted to bring up that I feel like. I mean, I guess there's a few teams in there. I mean, you have like SYR, who was the winner of last season's playoffs, but there's a few other teams that I think could be like good. I guess you could say.
I'm very interested in Syndicate and Controlled Chaos.
I'm
Seeing
interested
as-
in both of those teams because they're both really good. But a team that I have my eye on a little bit is Not Cash Money. Made a pretty good standing against SYR. So,
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they play it. I'm pretty sure it was like they had 1-round deficit. I could be wrong. This could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure from what I saw, it was like a 1-round
Final
deficit.
Shot is a
Maybe
decent
1 or
team.
2-round deficit.
And I want to go into Solar Flare League real quick and look at what their quals were like.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if anyone remembers the season 1, or not season 1, but the recent quals that they had. If I can find the actual link itself. SFCL quals 1. Where's the quals 1? Because I know we had teams in there. Gosh, where was it? Qualifier links. They must have deleted it.
Maybe. Yeah,
But
'cause I don't see it either.
what I saw was SYR was in 38th, as Controlled Chaos was in 2nd. Someone's dog's popping off. But like I said, we'll talk more about it once teams start playing their games and we watch the games through the casts. I can't really say anything important as of right now. I believe I was at in general somewhere. James updated standings. Let's see. So next I'm going to go into finances a little bit, which is our next subject. A lot of people probably don't look into investments all that much, but recent investments I'd suggest investing into. You guys are probably going to laugh at this, but Roblox recently became a stock last week.
No, bro.
Yeah.
Roblox is fire.
It's a multi-trillion-dollar organization
Yeah.
that has been very key. It's like another Minecraft, in my opinion, that is very successful,
It's been
especially
popping
with
off
the
recently,
countless.
Yeah,
Exactly.
actually, like it's getting a lot of attention on TikTok.
Streamers have been going back to Minecraft and Roblox actually,
Minecraft one in
and it's been
particular.
popping off a lot more.
Especially with all like the SMPs and stuff like that.
Also with the new cave update.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing I wanted to add is that NASDAQ is up right now, and so is Ford Motor, the highest they've been in a while, especially with inflation going on in the States right now, with the stimulus checks coming out. Another thing that's been going off is the cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is right now at its highest that it's ever been, or was,
Yeah.
24 hours ago.
40K, right?
It was at 60,000. It rose
Oh,
10,000
see that.
in 72 hours. Yeah.
Nice.
So Bitcoin rised $10,000 in stock in 72 hours. So, which got me close to just $400 this weekend for it to rise that much. Of course, it dropped back down, so I lost. I think it was like $80 from it, but
That's still
yeah.
major profit.
it's still major profit. Yeah. That's a little bit of finances. If you want to check out Bitcoin, it is down right now, so you'd be able to invest a little bit into it. To, like I said, even as little as $10 will make you a profit, in my opinion, on Bitcoin, rather than playing stocks, is because cryptocurrency has been growing exponentially as of recent.
I can throw my 2 cents in, like on penny stocks. I know a decent bit about them.
Exactly.
like Dogecoin, for example. I know penny stocks are really like unreliable. I wouldn't say it's a huge like good investment, but if you find the right ones, like with the right statistics and stuff like that, I mean, I
It
made
can
probably
easily get you a few
$180.
bucks.
Yeah, I made like $180 off of a penny stock. You just have
And
to
it
find the
helps you
right
get
ones.
into it
Yeah,
helps you
yeah.
get into regular stocks too. Um, let's move on from finances now to U.S. news. I believe one of you guys have that.
I have it pulled up, but
I was about to say,
yeah.
I've-
I mean, what do you? I mean, do you guys want to talk about Putin? I don't know what you guys want to talk about.
um,
Putin. He is a very sexy man. I just want to say.
I guess I can just bring up random Air Force things because that is
I can
U.S.
find you one if you want to talk for a minute. I can find a good one.
At least
You can talk
for
about the vaccine.
Here, I got
yeah,
you. We can
there
talk
you
about
go, the
COVID a little bit.
vaccines.
All right. So, coronavirus numbers. U.S. cases as of right now is just nearing like 30 million. Yeah. Worldwide cases were reaching 120 million. The U.S. here, so we can touch on vaccinations as well. U.S. total vaccinations is 37 million, which is a lot more than
That's
cases.
not bad, yeah.
No, it's not bad at all.
It should open up a lot more with
I'm
the
not taking it.
vaccinations
There's
alone.
a 11% vaccination rate. I can't speak today. And there's been
I know,
almost 600,000 deaths.
yeah, which is
From the vaccine.
Okay. No, from corona.
which
You never
is
know.
I'm sorry for anyone who has lost someone
Yeah.
due to coronavirus. It is a sad thing that we're all dealing with right now, an unfortunate thing. A lot of people aren't at schools right now, which they should be opening up slowly but surely.
Mhm.
At
I
least
don't know why mine's open.
where I'm at in Italy, everything's completely red still because Italy's not allowing vaccinations within the country because they don't believe in that, which is actually hurting them a lot
Yeah.
more, I feel.
Another thing we can talk
See,
about is
for
the stimulus checks that were just released of $1,400.
Oh, the $1,400 and
Yeah.
per
$300 per child.
No,
Mhm.
it's 1,400 per
Yeah,
child.
it's 1,400. Here, I can tell you.
I don't believe that's right. I believe it's
No, it is.
And
It is.
for
My mom
according
got
to
hers.
this is the relief package that was released. Is parents of children age 6 and under will receive $300 monthly
yeah,
payments,
that sounds right.
and then kids ages to 7 to 17 will receive monthly
250.
payments of $250. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
was
that
a
sounds more
$1.9
right.
trillion coronavirus relief package.
Which is going to cost, I feel, us as a country a lot more.
Oh
And
yeah,
also
totally.
our allying
Taxes
countries.
and stuff like that.
Taxes are going to be rising.
Mhm.
It's another form, like I said, of inflation, if not inflation itself.
Yeah,
We're
the
going to
stock
be,
market will take a little hit.
it took a major hit.
It did.
That's why crypto went up. Everyone started pulling their money from their stocks and putting it into crypto.
Mhm.
So we'll see on that. Next thing I want to talk about is Pro League. Canadian announces retirement from competitive Siege. Luke is now the stand-in. I will just read this. In a surprise tweet longer today, Troy Canadian Jaroslawski announced that he would be stepping back from place on Space Station Gaming SSG and instead pursuing other opportunities within Rainbow Six. The move comes due to a similar reason as to another legend of the game, Nicholas Pengu Mortizan, with Canadians stating that he too was losing motivation to play the game at a competitive level. The team had previously announced that it would not be making any roster changes this offseason, but head coach Justin Lickin-Woods revealed that the team had only been informed 2 days ago on Thursday night. 4 days after the transfer window had closed, the later released Footlonger also detailed circumstances in the lead up to Canadians' retirement.
Yeah.
It's sad to see another major pro leave, but seeing in Siege's current state, especially with not being able to travel to play any games for Pro League, it's all done, I'm sure, online right now. It's ending up like CS:GO in a way. Like
Yeah.
newer generations are going to come in and take over the older generations, and older generation players
Another thing I
lose
wanted to
motivation.
add on to
Like,
this was because I feel like this is like a lot of the reasons why pro players and even just normal players are quitting Siege is the new update that's coming out with being able to drone after death and stuff like that. I feel like, at least in my opinion, I know a lot of the community would agree, is it's killing its own game in a way.
And I do agree with that. I don't believe that's with the actual callouts itself. When you die, it's been a normal thing. You hop on the drone after you die. You can't control it after you die. That's annoying as fuck. So now defenders have to worry about being droned constantly with the drone following them. And while the other players are dead, it's going to bring a lot more of the old aspect of saving your drones, like the old generation aspect of saving your drones completely without even using them, because that'd be a major advantage just to have at like the end of the round.
Yeah,
And
it gives attackers a
to go
way
more
like unfair advantage.
go more in depth on that, in depth on that. Someone told me that your drone is going to drop after you die.
Your
like,
drone
if you have,
drops.
yeah, someone just
I
told
didn't
me
hear that. I didn't know that.
Someone told me, that he played the what's it called, TTS.
Servers?
Yeah. And he said
this
that
is like
the,
another thing that just like I feel like that's just an unfair advantage. Like I understand a lot of maps are defense heavy, but like I think that's just like overweighing it a little bit.
Oh yeah, we could talk about that, like the TTS and all the changes coming in next season. If you want to go, if you want to talk about that.
I feel like we're a little low on time right now, so we could
Yeah.
move that into the next week's. I'm gonna just quickly go over games that are coming out. March
next
26th.
week the season will already be out because it comes out this Tuesday.
And I guess it does come out Tuesday, huh? Because that's
The 16th.
shoot. We'll end up talking more about it once we learn. I don't want to say anything finalized on it because there are going to be updates coming out probably not even within 48 hours after the new update comes out. It always happens because there's always bugs. But I want to really quickly come out with 4 games actually. Monster Hunter Rise off of Monster Hunter World will be launched on PS4 and Xbox One. Wait, this is old. Is this old?
No.
How long ago was
I think
this?
so.
The most
World?
anticipated game. Oh, Monster Hunter World dropped in 2018, but brand new Monster Hunter game is going to be dropping on PS4 and Xbox One on March 26th, which is going to be essentially what I'm thinking is, yeah. So in a few days, like in a week and a half, essentially going to be a newer version of Monster Hunter World, which I actually enjoyed a lot personally. But I couldn't grind it. I couldn't grind all that. It was just so annoying to grind it. Pokemon Snap, April 30th on Nintendo 64. It's just I haven't gotten into Pokemon a lot.
It's actually like the cards. People like it's coming back, like the card game, and people collecting and reselling. Like prices for these cards. There's one that one of my players had, Gianni Tarzan. It's called a Shining Charizard. It's worth like I think around $7,000.
Why didn't he fucking sell that shit?
And then I know like the first edition stuff for Pokemon goes for a lot. I think Charizard at least like goes for around.
There's a couple Charizards going over like in the 6 digits.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a reason like didn't Logan Paul get scammed like 3 million?
Yeah.
No. He bought
300,000.
He got scammed a lot.
He bought $3 million worth of like first edition boxes, like booster packs, I guess, and sold them all. And like he sold them off to like random people, and then he would open them on like a podcast type setup.
So
he bought a card for I think
that he was scammed for
a couple $100,000s.
Yeah,
and it was a fake.
That, maybe
it could have been just a clickbait too.
Yeah, sure.
Going into the final game, personally, I'm excited for 2 of them actually. Resident Evil Village, May 7th. It's going to be dropping on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. It's going to be...
Speaking of Resident Evil, this code ties back into Siege. They are collabing and bringing
Really?
out 2 elite skins. One for Zofia, which is a Rose Valentine or whatever her name is.
That's
and then
exciting, actually.
One for Lion.
It could bring like some Resident Evil fans to come play just to buy those skins. That's actually...
Mm-hmm.
I wish
Yeah,
it wasn't
and
2 attackers, though. I wish it was 1 defender, 1 attacker. But
the skins that just came out recently for Echo and Dokubi, the illustrator for or designer for Resident Evil, she designed those.
really?
hmm
And this is technically Resident Evil 8 coming out for Resident
Yeah.
Evil Village, so that should be exciting to watch. One game I'm really looking out for, though, if I can find it, which we'll end up talking about it another time. It's not on this list as of right now, but that's pretty much all I've had so far. Hopefully we can
I
get some
have some
edits
game. I
going
have
for the
one game.
podcast.
And then also a thing. So the Rainbow Six Quarantine, which got a name change, Rainbow Six Parasite, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
yeah, and then there's another game coming out. It's for the weebs. It's a Demon Slayer game coming out.
And that's based off of the manga and the anime, I believe.
It's if anyone's ever played like Dragon Ball Fighters or like fighting games, like
It's
Naruto
gonna be
Storm
similar
4.
to that.
It's a fighting game like Naruto and Storm 4. It's made by the same people.
So that's interesting. I'm probably gonna end up checking that out too. But I think we're way over on the time. I think we
a little bit
overhit our estimate. But we'll be able to go a bit quicker as time goes by.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope everyone did enjoy this. We'll try to get some better things and better edits going on for the podcast. It is our first podcast, so I don't see... personally, I felt like it was great for a start. We had a lot to talk about in a very... We went way over, I believe, on time.
Yeah.
I believe we started
good like 45 to 50 minutes.
over. So, like I said, it will be more enjoyable the more people we can bring onto the podcast. I know a lot of people's schedules are off. I'll see if I can maybe bring in some teams next time, some captains for the podcast.
If we do one after the first set of group stage, that could be a good one. Bring on the top 8 teams, captains.
That'd be really nice too. And maybe next week we can bring on some of the group playoff captains and bring our PC finalists in also.
Also,
So
next week, I think we could talk about, like, give opinions on how we're liking the new season, how people think it's going to affect comp.
Right, and we can
scrimming with the new stuff.
We can have...
How
we'll make
is going to affect comp when she comes in.
Oh, fucking shit.
Julx on that DMR, do go burr.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about Aruni, but I think we'll end it right here. I hope everyone did enjoy. This was Arcadia, Julx, and Bandit. Hopefully you see us next week.